Media and information literacy involves communication process.
Carl, what is communication?
Communication is a process by a face-to-face conversation between two people, or it may also be like communicating to a larger group of audience by using media. Specifically in this lesson, you will learn the role of media in communication process.
This lesson also provides a little intro about literacy. It may be a media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy, which may help you form a responsible habit as a producer and user of media and information.
So you better listen, understand, and continue this video for further information. Have a great day, everyone.
Welcome to the first lesson. Listen carefully.
In this part of the lesson, I will talk about the 8 components of communication. These are the source, message, channel, receiver, feedback, environment, context, and interference. The source is the one who sends the message, which will be sent through the channel. The message will then be received by the receiver and give his or her feedback.
While on the other hand, there are other components of communication. We have the environment, which is the atmosphere where you send or receive the message, while context refers to the setting in which the communication takes place.
And lastly, guys, we have the interference. It is in which any barrier to the communication.
So I think it's already clear that you have understood these components. Let's continue and hop into the next topic.
In this lesson, we will tackle about the 5 forms of communication.
Communication may come in different forms. These forms may vary and differ in terms of participants, channels, and context used. The following are the 5 main forms of communication.
First is intrapersonal communication. From the word intra, it means within. It is a form of communication where communication uses internal language or thought. The speaker and the listener here is the same.
For example with this is talking to yourself in the mirror or arguing with yourself for forgetting something.
While interpersonal communication is a form of communication where there's an exchange of information between 2 or more people. During the communication, there is a message sending and message receiving.
Example for this conversation is between a father and his son, and an employer to his employee.
The third one is group communication, where it is a form of communication between 3 or more individuals. Through verbal interaction, they can share and discuss ideas. This interaction or communication is meant to lead them to a discussion or solution to a certain goal. Example for this is team-based tasks that we mostly experience during schoolworks.
The fourth one is public communication. Public communication is a method to share program, ideas, or propaganda to public. The main idea of public communication is to give people a new information or knowledge. The message can come from personal, company, and government.
Other tools of public communication include mass media like newspaper, radio, TV, billboards, online resources like many other forms of communication can deploy. Others include dramas, songs, digital and conventional advertising, public service announcement, teleconferencing, telecommuting, and etc.
The last one is mass communication. Mass communication is the process of imparting and exchanging information through mass media to large segments of the population. It is usually understood for relating to various forms of media, as these technologies are used for the dissemination of information, of which journalism and advertising are part.
Common communication channels in mass communication include television, radio, social media, and print media. Examples of mass communication include commercial advertising, public relations, journalism, and political campaigning.
Between public communication and mass communication is that public communication can be done in the midst of a group of people. In other words, during conferences, seminars, and etc., by word of mouth and using speakers, while mass communication makes use of a mass medium to pass its message to a large, heterogeneous, and anonymous group of people. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone. Now that you have learned components of communication, we're going to teach you all about models of communication.
First, there's Harold Westphal's communication model. Harold Westphal's communication model shows a one-way transmission of information and simply illustrates how communication starts from a sender who transmits the message through a channel to an intended receiver, consequently with a corresponding effect. These channels may come in a form of spoken medium or through digital or technological instruments like phones and computers. This model attempts to answer the question, who says what to whom, through what medium, and with what effect.
Next, there's Shannon and Weaver's communication model. Under this model, communication is described as a linear, one-way process. Noise here refers not only to the noise we hear from our environment, it also includes the noises we hear within ourselves, like our low self-esteem and anxieties in communicating. The message is then transformed into signals by a transmitter. The receiver reconstructs or decodes the message received from the signal. The received message reaches the destination. The signal may be disturbed by some noise interference. Thus, it is possible that the noise will result from the difference between what is transmitted and what is received. There can be a difference in the message transmitted and in the message reconstructed by the receiver. In this case, communication fails.
Years later, David Berlo developed Shannon and Weaver's model, shifting the focus to the context, environment, and other factors surrounding the participants involved in communication process. The SMCR model of communication of Berlo represents the process of communication in its simplest form. The acronym SMCR stands for Sender, Message, Channel, and Receiver. Berlo's SMCR model of communication describes the different components that form the basic process of communication. Because this communication tool also emphasizes the coding and decoding of the message, it can be used for more efficient communication. To ensure the message is conveyed as effectively as possible, the sender and the receiver must share some common ground. Communication skills play a crucial role in this. Other factors such as culture, knowledge, and attitude are also vital. What may be considered rude in some cultures may be perfectly fine in others. Communication doesn't always go as smoothly as one would hope. Various problems such as disruptions, noise, and an asynchronous process may obstruct proper communication.
Now let us know the important role of media and information in communication.
Do you know what is the role of media and information in communication?
For what you have known, media and information, it makes the world a smarter place. It also makes communication convenient.
How about you?
I think it also shapes the opinion of the public. These three are the main roles of media and information in communication.
Oh, media and information hold a significant role in communication, right? Why do you think it holds a significant role?
I think because media is the communication outlets or tools used to store and deliver information or data.
The term refers to components of the mass media communication industry, such as print media, publishing, the news media, photography, cinema, broadcasting, radio and television, and lastly is the advertising.
And also, media and information are intrinsically interconnected with the concept of communication. In other words, information is one of the reasons why communication is done in the first place, and this information can be shared through the media.
Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have learned something from our video.